and I think it is doing very, very, very well.
You will see a trail of vehicles with stop lights approaching. There are no prizes for guessing, ladies and gentlemen. That is His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni arriving in our midst. And let's do the honorable people for standing the way we know how. By leading us stand, for us to set a view, and we can show that we are standing away and receiving His Excellency.
May God applaud thee. We lay our future in thy hand. United, free for liberty, together we always stand. Oh, Uganda, the land of freedom, our love and labor we give. And with neighbors all at our country's go, in peace and friendship we live.
Thank you, Lord, for the recently concluded, calm, and peaceful presidential elections, general elections. We thank you for enabling His Excellency to address over 140 rallies around the country for that kind of special grace and stamina. And Lord, we know that there is no authority except that which God has established. And the authorities that exist have been established by God. And we thank you for His Excellency's leadership that has had a profound influence on the socio-economic landscape of our country, marked by monumental achievements in economic stabilization and growth. And for the mustard seed, which was his vision, that has fallen on fertile soil, including Nelson Ntungamo and the Inspire Group, now manifesting as Africa Coffee Park.
I therefore wish to welcome you to this facility as one of those that represent how we interpreted the guidance you gave us. That we take ideas, we take knowledge, and we take it through creation of products, translating those ideas into products, and we take those products into building manufacturing facilities, and then we build businesses to distribute those so that we can have an impact on the economy. That's the summary of how we have interpreted your guidance. And we have generally taken two categories. One is to create new areas of the economy, areas that had not been here, they had not been part of our economy before, like the automotive industry. But the second one that you gave us was to make sure that we amplify the value of what Uganda has been producing. And Your Excellency, as we have listened to you many, many times in the speeches you have made, in the presentations to the nation, we think we have learned how to interpret what you want to see. And in your campaign slogan, you said protecting the gains as we step into the qualitative leap. And the qualitative leap entails that we infuse knowledge into what we have been doing, and we lift it. We have defined or helped the public to understand the qualitative gain, the qualitative leap, as the difference between taking stairs when you're climbing up or taking a lift. And that requires that we shift into this new mode. For example, Your Excellency, here we have taken the coffee bean, which you have talked so many times about why other nations are getting more from our coffee bean compared to us who toil with the coffee bean. Your Excellency, we understood that for us, we are looking at the coffee bean as the commodity, while the other people were looking at the coffee bean as an industrial complex. And what you see here is a reflection of that new thinking, that the cup of coffee should not be just seen as a cup of coffee, but as an industry, which has inputs, it has supplies, it has... This company, Inspire Africa, is the pathfinder for this approach. And we are still in the lab producing many, many products. And as we enter into the next term, we have placed science, Your Excellency, now ready to drive. The things, the understanding, working out mechanisms, how to develop the scientists, we have now perfected that. And the thinking innovative, as you can see here, it is not just about coffee. There is coffee sport, there is coffee tourism, there is a lot that has continued to go on.
Your Excellency, that dream while I was in the US, going to visit President Barack Obama, the three of us in Africa, where I was residing, or Frank working in the World Bank then, we realized that I had not gotten a gift from Uganda. By God's chance, we got into a Somali coffee shop and found Kapchora coffee and paid $79, which was just 250 grams, not a kilo. It didn't make sense. But when I came out and flew back to Uganda, I asked my mom, how much do we sell our coffee? I was never a coffee guy. I was a tech survey, young people. I was in my world of IT. I even never thought about coffee. My mom told me, who is not here, she's not feeling well today. My mom told me that our coffee is 4,200 shillings a kilo, which is 1.5 or even less than $1.2. That, friends, made me crazy in my head. And allow me to say this. I know a couple of you call me a crazy man. But my craziness, it came out from my mom telling me that we are selling a kilo of coffee at 4,200, and then I bought a quarter of it, same coffee from Uganda, at $79. When that came into my mind, I was already listening to Your Excellency. I was already listening to your speeches. They never made sense to me. When His Excellency would be saying, we are donating, you go in speeches of 1994, 1992. It didn't make sense, Your Excellency, when you'd say that we are donating to you, the white people, that for every kilo of coffee we give you, we are donating you so much money to you. Your Excellency, until then, when my mom told me that a kilo of coffee was 4,200, which is about $1.2, in that space, Your Excellency, that speech about coffee and dairy and others never made sense to me. Friends, those of you who call me a madman, who call me a crazy man, I'm crazy because my mom and other women must get a better price for their coffee. Friends, and Your Excellency, I'm from a very peasant background. As you know, I told you my dad, who comes from here, died when we were very young people. I'm a second coffee generation farmer. My father and my grandparents grew coffee. But I can comfortably tell you, friends, comrades, and Your Excellency, through those hills that you're driving today, I footed the whole of my primary school, Chitunga, without shoes. And I was a second generation coffee farmer. It started making sense to me, Your Excellency, when you said we are donating and donating. And then I took it a notch higher that, Your Excellency, why Africa, we've not proceeded too much is because indeed of what you've been telling us, that we've been donating and selling our coffee at $2.50, and the other people get even $20 and $30 and $40. That, my friends, our African people, is a war before us. Is a war that we must fight. Is a war for all the politicians, for all the young people, that we joined our hands and be with His Excellency and fight this war. Your Excellency, I want to thank you before all these people and the media. If it wasn't you, this dream would not take shape. And I want to confirm this to you, friends. Your Excellency, I am sure, and I confirm, it is only God who sent you to save this dream.
We are ready to use this next 5 years, Kisanja, to the maximum and make Uganda's products present and dominant in the market of coffee. We have stepped into the allowed territory. We have stepped into the territory that had been closed for Uganda and the developing countries by the global north. Today, with your permission, I would like to say the young people and the entrepreneurs of Uganda are going to challenge the ceiling and break it until the products of Uganda are found in the north and the south and the globe of the world.
Through Inspire Africa and the Africa Coffee Park, Ugandan coffee has moved from the smallholder farms of Buganda, Ankole, Bugisu, and Kigezi to the shelves of Turkey, the United States, and China, where it enjoys zero tax entry and unprecedented global visibility. This is how nations rise, when private ambition aligns with national purpose.
Ekyerwiso in Uganda is called ekikulukuto. Now the problem of Africa, what Ntungamo was telling you, is ekyerwiso. It is a disease of hemorrhage, uncontrolled hemorrhage of blood by women. In the Bible, they talk about it. How Jesus healed a woman who had ekyerwiso. So this is the big problem of Africa, the hemorrhage, where you have had Ntungamo telling you what I've been telling you many times, where you sell a kilo of dehusked coffee called kase, and you get $2.5. And somebody takes it and roasts it and grinds it, and he gets $40 from the same. You heard how Ntungamo went to the US and found coffee which was 250 grams, a quarter of a kilo, but from Kapchorwa, but for which he paid $79. This is the hemorrhage. It's not only for coffee, it is for textiles. This shirt I'm putting on is made from Uganda cotton. A kilo of cotton would where they have removed the seeds, what they call the lint, they would get $1. But when they make some shirts out of the kilo, somebody will get $20 or $15. So this is the battle we are talking about. That's why the GDP of Africa is laughable. Africa is a land which is 12 times the size of India. You can put India into Africa 12 times. You can put the United States of America into Africa 4 times. And now our population is now 1.5 billion people. But our GDP is only 3 trillion, the whole of Africa, $3 trillion. The GDP of the United States, you can check on the internet, because for you go with all those telephone. Me, my telephone does not have internet. Mine is a capability like this. But you can check yours. The GDP of the United States must be like 32 trillion. There are only 300 million people. So 300 million people in a land area who are like 1/5 of Africa, in a land area which is 1/4 of Africa, are earning 30 times more. They are 30 times richer than us. This is a big shame. Big shame for all the intelligentsia, all the leaders, the political, the religious, the cultural, all the leaders should really wake up. Now, poor Kasiate, your MC, was mixing up issues. When I go back to my economics of 1965, at that entire where you say you were, they would teach you that the 4 factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is recognized in all economics. But, so an entrepreneur is a coordinator of the factors of production. But what do you coordinate if you have nothing to coordinate? This is where science comes in. If you don't have what to coordinate, if you don't have people who know how to make shirts, who know how to roast coffee, who know how to remove oxygen from iron ore and make steel, what will you coordinate? You must have something to coordinate in order to be a useful coordinator. So there is no contradiction. The social science has a role, but the base of any progressive society is science, then you add the other, what we call the superstructure on top of it. Now, therefore, people like Ntungamo are very useful, and I want to thank Ntungamo for being provoked, because you can see he had ignored my messages. I was talking, and he was not caring, until he went to the US, and he was shocked, and then saw the price of the coffee, came back and asked the mother. Mother told her what we get. That's why he was provoked. Then he said, by the way, this old man has been talking, maybe he's talking sense. So I'm glad many people are waking up. That's why the word renaissance makes sense. Rebirth of knowledge. People, Africans, to start gaining knowledge again of how society should be. So I want to salute Ntungamo and his colleagues, and we have given them all the support, and we shall give them more support. Now that people have woken up on the cherry we saw, Africa can be saved. And if you see, the imports to Uganda are getting less and less. For the first time, our export earnings are more than our import bill. We have got a surplus. So that is the hemorrhage. That is how we are losing money. You can imagine Ugandans buying powdered milk from Denmark. We were importing powdered milk from Denmark, importing shirts from I don't know where, everything, even furniture. Furniture was being imported from Dubai, from where? So how would the country grow? You are earning less from what you are producing, and whatever you are earning, you are sending back to Okshaka. Okshaka, everything. So that's why people like Ntungamo must be saluted. I thank you, and I wish you good luck.
And award our next entrepreneur, who is Barak. Idro Taban. Mr. Idro Taban Jr., please step forward to receive the award of your entrepreneur. That award shall be presented by Her Excellency the Ambassador of Ethiopia to Uganda, and our distinguished guests. With humility, we shall thank all of you for attending this. Our distinguished members, considering that this is going to be an annual award, I believe that next year, many of you will be part.
So, Your Excellency, as I partially tried to concede defeat after being thrown under the bus by Nelson, who claimed he's not a social scientist, I want to have a rejoinder.
Representing the Archbishop of Mbarara, the Grace is Grace Lambert Beinomch.
Before, like the automotive industry, but the second one that you get.
Yeah, Dr. Nelson Ntungamo.
You want to see, and in your campaign slogan, you say protecting the taking a lift. And that requires that we shift here is a reflection of that new thinking. That as I speak, we have started making gain value is retained in the country. One of our current, this company, Inspire Africa, is that all the sectors, those supplying water for products, the team which works from science and technology to supply building markets, we have so far touched many African countries, the industry such that Dr. Cosmas Mwijukye, who is the lead scientist, my next level. God bless you and God bless Uganda for God and my country.
And scientists are the biggest drivers of what you call socio-economic
hubs created by Inspire Africa Group. These hubs empower
social scientist in the name of Nelson Ntungamo, whose vision, Your Excellency, has transformed an area